Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque, then in the same church, in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness by giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the Earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello and welcome everyone to the 260th One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice here on Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond and I'll be a host today, along with Mark and Elias as co-hosts, and we are ready to present today's program with the members of the Universal Council, who will be sharing things in today's show. So, without further ado, let us open up with members of the Universal Council.
Thank you, my dear Rick. Thank you so much, my dear. Salam, namaste, salute. And here I will say welcome, welcome, welcome. Suswagatam, my dear beautiful souls, into the beautiful, beautiful energy and totality of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute, in the beauty and totality of knowledge seekers and truth seekers, in the beauty and totality of all that is love. So this is one planet, one nation, one race for justice and world peace. And man has to go through this process of oneness that has been never experienced before. And this is the beauty of it. And as we are the image of the Creator and us and the Creator, both are expecting this beauty. And this is here, I will say. So be in this beauty, always, my dear. Well, I will use the word forever in Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. There is a lot of space. There's a home with lot of rooms, lot of rooms, my dear, of the Creator. So thank you for being here, for present here always. And salam, namaste, salute, my dear beautiful souls. Now we can go to the next slide, my dear Rick. Here is the wish of the Universal Council. In the cycle of man on this planet, there is nothing higher than the wishes of the soul, unanimous soul of the Universal Council. If the soul of the Universal Council in unity wishes, it becomes a command for the soul of humanity and beyond. And sooner or later, the mankind comes to understand. Empty Keshe. Beautiful. Well, of course, the universal souls we are always wishes for the unity, for the oneness, for the love of all that exists. And this is the beauty of the home in our heart and soul, that we always welcome each other, always to be, sit here in our heart, sit here, like we say, sit in our heart, see how it is, how comfortable you are. So this is the wish of the Universal Council, my dear, and it is always. Thank you so much. Now we can go to the next slide. Well, I welcome, if Dean is here, I welcome you to read the wish, if you may. Or Mark. Hello, my dear Mark.
Yes. Hi, it's Dean here. Sorry,
go
Mark.
ahead. Go ahead, Dean.
Okay. Yes, Dean.
Okay, sorry, I've only just joined. So
we,
the Universal Council, wish through our soul for all souls in existence to be in love always.
Always.
We are present.
We are present. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, my dear Dean. You want to say some few words about the wish, about the universal souls we are? Dean, hello?
Yeah, of course. So many things come to mind as we for a start. That means all the souls. So that's the souls of totality. We say the Universal Council. So this is a group of beautiful souls that have come together to represent the souls present across the planet and beyond, to aid and bring about The objective of a soul, which is there is no objective, is pure love. It gives unconditionally, and it's always present. It's a shining star. It's the eternal being, soul, essence, feel strength that is connected with everything and everyone in each and every moment, this moment. So for all the souls in existence, can you imagine the amount of souls in existence across this tiny planet and then across the spans of the unicos? Numbers beyond comprehension of man's figures that if we talk about mathematics, would there be such a number that could even be quantified or identified? Impossibility. There would be too many noughts. So each soul in existence is, when they come together as one, is the totality of everything. And on this beautiful, wonderful planet Earth, where there are many beings and many souls present, we elevate the souls and we bring a condition on the planet of love, always. And that is the presence of the Universal Council to bring this beauty to humanity, mankind being kind to man in this precise moment. And the thoughts and wishes, the intentions, when they all match, when they all become one, when the soul of physicality matches the soul, then humanity will start to vibrate and manifest on this planet the beauty that is present in each and every moment when we allow ourselves to be part of that particular beauty that is always present. It's just a thought, an intention, and a wish. And we have this right now in this moment. So to be in love always. Thank you all.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you, Sweta.
Yes. Oh, my dear Dean. Well, I also want to say, as you have said, in so much beauty, giving so much joy. You know, the cosmos has opened the door, opened the heart and soul as a being, you know, and all the wishes are now accepted in a way, in love, of course. And the cosmos says that, oh, my, so much wishes, so much of this love. How can I hold it? So a being comes and says, here are the bunch of flowers. You know, these are the wishes. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. And all is accepted, you know, in the way love works, as you said, my dear Dean, that when we say, well, here I am with all the love, here I am. How do you do? Like that, you know, the wishes. So thank you, my dear Dean. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Sweta.
And
I think
oh,
Sweta, I think it's important that the souls in physicality understand the beauty that has been brought forward. And in these moments, it seems very harsh. We have many conditions that are happening. But the Universal Council, the souls present, are here to give to humanity and to bring about this process, this position of sheer joy and beauty. And when humanity taps into this, it's present in this exact moment. So it's when we start to act and think and speak in a manner, in a feel strength that matches the universal flow, then the earth will become this this beautiful golden, however you'd like to describe it, this wonderful position of an elevated planet that has many beauties that for each and every present being to experience in this moment. Thank you, Sweta.
thank you, my dear. We are present in the beauty. Of course, things are going on, and we know how it is. There is, and there is that, you know, and it is. And we are going forward in a way, elevating all souls to be in the beauty and totality, in the love always. So, thank you, my dear Dean. Now, my dear Rick, we can go to the next slide.
Could I make a wish?
Oh, yes, of course, my dear. Welcome, welcome.
We, the Universal Council, give from our souls to those in the land of Turkey that the Keshe Foundation would attempt to provide the food, the medicine, the shelter, and the emotional balancing through our technologies to those who are suffering in this earthquake disaster. Hear my command.
We are present, my dear. We are present, always. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Can I jump here, please?
Oh, Jalal, my dear. Yes, of course. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. I would like to ask for a moment of silence, of giving for those who already been in that area, which is in Turkey and in Syria and all over the places, which is related to that spot. And as we saw in the intro, the Jewish, the Muslims, the Christians, and all other beliefs become one. We saw them. We saw the Americans helping. We saw the Russian helping. We saw the Ukrainian helping, the Germans, the Arabs, India, Africa, all over the world. They are helping in the name of a man. So we become one. But it needs a little bit elevation. It needs a little bit push that the man understand he have to be one all the time, not only in this moment of suffering. So please, Universal Council supports man, all knowledge seekers, all who is listening, a moment of giving and a moment of taking the suffering, taking the barriers of understanding, taking all this which is in the path of love and peace. And my wish is my command.
We are present, my dear. So we dedicate the 5 minutes of silence to the elevation and for the love of what has happened in Turkey, love of the souls, the beings, and they should remain in peace, be in love always. And we wish for that. Our wish is our command.
My dear,
And
it's not only in Turkey.
Yes, I know. It's in all the places around, of course.
It is in Syria also.
Syria.
It's more disaster than Turkey. It's more disaster.
Mm-hmm.
In Turkey, they have the equipment, they have the cities, they have everything, and they have disaster. What about this area, which for 12 years of pumping, all the time war, and they have nothing. There is area which is no one until now, since about 30 hours of disaster, no one reached them because all the lines, all the roads, it's cut.
Yes, my dear, I know. And I have no words to say that, Through my heart and soul, I can understand and elevate, and so that our foundation, the universal beings, can bring this beauty, bring this joy to them again, and the roads will be clear forever. And I know the suffering of Syria, the suffering of Afghanistan, the suffering of everything, not less than an earthquake created by man. So man has to be kind to mankind, of course. We have to be kind, of course. So can we do the moment of silence, my dear Jalal, from now? 5 minutes? Hello, Jalal? Okay, this is the moment of silence as dedicated to the disaster that has happened for the love of all beings. That is, the moment of elevation starts from now for peace and love for Syria, Turkey, and all the countries suffered from these disasters. Natural, we can say, or man-made. So the silence starts from now. Thank you, my dear beautiful souls. Thank you for being present. for this elevation to provide all that is needed in the areas of love, I will say. Well, thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute.
Thank
Now
you,
we can go to
Shawata.
the next. Oh,
Thank all of you.
Jalal,
I
Yeah.
have only 2 or 3 minutes here. Um,
I know.
I would like anyone to bring the teaching of the first aid of the foundation, and later you can bring it and present it here if someone need it, if someone can do it, and if someone will listen to this anytime, maybe in that moment of time of need, he can use it, and then that is the purpose of the teaching.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. Thank you. Salam, namaste, salute. Thank you. Yes, these are the wishes of Jalal, of all universal souls, as we are all. And we are standing here in a position, elevating. Yes, of course. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now we can go to the next slide, my dear Rick.
Joseph asking the minutes of this teaching, 21 minutes.
Yeah, it's good, very good, Joseph, my dear. Welcome. You are teaching now? Hello?
I'm saying Joseph asking for the teaching that Jalal just recommended. No?
Oh.
Is
it
it
is
the
yes.
134 knowledge secret?
There is no problem. It was a guess. If it is the teaching, I will have a look in the background, and after I have presented, I think after Jacko, then I'm able to bring it up if I have found the part. Otherwise, I will write in the chat. Everything good.
Oh, thank you, my dear. Thank you, my dear Joseph. Now it is a clip of the video. Ed has done. Jacko. Hello, Jacko, my dear.
Hello, Shweta.
Oh, hello, my dear. Hello. Is this the clip? Yeah.
Yes, Rick prepared.
Okay.
Okay, this is Earth, a greenhouse for our soul.
As I always said, Earth is a nursery where it creates that seed, that bulb, and it takes you buy it, and then you plant it, you water it, and then it gives you that flower. I was in Amsterdam this few days for work of the Keshe Foundation, and I love Amsterdam because it doesn't matter, whenever you pass through the airport, they have tulips. And people from all over the world going through Amsterdam buy these onions or the tulips to take it to their nation or to their country or to their home, doesn't matter. And Earth is that flower shop. Is that nursery where the flower shop gets its flowers and its onions. It's a seed where it plants the seed of the soul of the man, which needs that little ignition to start a cycle. As I said in the past, to get to feel the strength to come together in a space takes billions of years, and especially for them to become a plasma, where now the soul of the man, through the life of the man, 50, 60, 100 years on this planet, creates that seed. Now you just need to let it loose And then those fields in the universe which were coming to become the seed of this something to start already have the onions, or what we call the seed of the soul, for it to grow. If you go to Scotland, they do what we call shrimp seeds, 1 day shrimp or 3 day shrimp. The people who are in the shrimp world, they go to Scotland and they buy 1 day old shrimp. And they take it to Africa and then they let it grow. Where in Africa, for them to grow that, there is no facilities. So it's the same. The universe has the earth as the seed for that to be faster to create the next generation. You have to understand the light of, the knowledge of, the essence of the creation of the Creator is so fast, and is so fast in its vastness that it needs it to find a point of control, amalgamation, and creation. And the soul of man is that greenhouse. Sometimes when I hear the scientists talk about the greenhouse effect and the earth is getting hotter or whatever, I laugh. I said, God created this greenhouse to create the soul of the man. What the hell are these people talking about? So this is why when you build a greenhouse, when you put the flowers and the plants in it, you go and check to see how beautiful they are, how they are growing. If there is any infection, if there is any diseases, you correct it. And this greenhouse called Earth gets serviced by the Creator to see what it needs to be done, how it needs to be corrected, how you get the disease of killing and everything else out of the man. And then he sends what we call the gardeners, the teachers, to polish it, to perfect it, that goes out as a perfect seed. And that's our job. So the earth is that nursery. And the Creator loves this nursery because it was created by Mitra. And is looked after by his love and needed to be corrected and be perfected. And now it reaches that point which reflects his true essence of love. When you buy a flower from a florist, you will feed two things. If he sells you a flower he bought from a market, a plant, he just gives it to you. But if it's a plant which he grew and he sells it to you, he gives you love, information, and love about that because it's part of him. So it's the same with the man. The soul created on this planet is done, touched by the love of Mitra, and God has handed it. And he has to be perfect. So when it goes out in the universe, it becomes a perfect tulips. And one lip of Creator and one lip of Mitra. When they kiss, it creates a new life.
Thank you, my dear Rick. So beautiful. So much of love. And yes, earth, a greenhouse for our soul. Anybody wants to say anything about the beautiful beauty? You are so much welcome. So much.
Just special thanks to Ed Weatherall that makes some of the videos that we've seen, such as this one. And I know he does some really good work. So thank you, Ed.
Yes, of course. Thank you, my dear Ed. Thank you so much. You always make so beautiful. You know, is this short and beautiful knowledge and updates and beauty. I will say beauty is the only word. Thank you, my dear Ed. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. This is Jacko, UC Dutch. I want to welcome you all to this One Nation, One Planet, One Race. Today, in this One Planet, One Solution, I would like to talk to you about the solutions. Mr. Keshe gave us so many hints, so many help to find these solutions and to realize them, to make them real. If I look at this picture, you see the light working. It is like bubbles in the screen. And in a way, if Mr. Keshe is talking about how we should put our souls, later I come to it, to accommodate each other, we become like these bubbles. If both souls are the same, we can put according to the environment field strength, and we become free to travel, like in this bubble. We can ask ourselves if we need physicality or not, depending on which planet we are, which environment it needs. So come to these solutions. He teaches us that the little tongue in the back of our throats is one of the places where our soul can take the energy. And he teaches us that if we breathe slowly through our nose, the soul has more energy because it's already taken from before it goes into the lung and to the physicality. He also explained that he himself has a little lung that supplies his soul with extra energy. For us, it's important that we find a way, first of all, to balance ourselves. And if we are balanced, then to serve the soul from the physicality. We could abuse the physicality by taking drugs or drinking a lot of alcohol or whatever. And this makes it more difficult for the body to serve the soul. And I know I'm talking about physicality. All the teachings we had in the last 2 years, 3 years, is all directing to the soul. Why is that? Because with the soul, if we understand the position of the soul, the work of the soul, then we can supply everything, including the physicality. So that is why it's so important to understand this way. And if I'm thinking about what Mr. Keshe said last Thursday, you know, he started with telling us that he will be our driver teacher, like in the car driving school. Meanwhile, we are already driving, if you didn't notice. He even said we are going for a fuel to fuel up the car that we can drive further on. So what will happen on the 19th of February is that we have a next chance to do the next step, to make that progress, to understand how we can feed the soul and how we can share that. If you eat for your body, it's only for you. No one else can have anything from it. On the soul level, that is completely different. by expanding all the energies we have, meanwhile all the knowledge we can share. And by sharing, providing it to the others, we're already elevating. That process is already started. And the more we elevate, the more we will have multiplication factors, people who participate, who connect in this unconditional love. This is like a snowball. It goes around and it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And Earth needs it very much. So thank you very much that you're here, that we're together can serve this really biggest movement of humanity. Now I want to ask Joseph, are you ready for your presentation?
Yes, I am. So my name is Joseph and I'm living in Austria. As a helper, I am part of the Universal Council, and I want to present today the topic attachment, detachment, starting from meta state and going a little bit further. So I'm taking a glass of water. I'm grabbing it with my hand. I'm drinking a sip of the water and I'm putting it down again and I'm detaching my hand from it. And I've left some traces on the glass and some traces in the water of the glass. I have sipped this bit of water and my body gives, or I am giving to it, and I receive from it. Then I detach from it and I leave traces. I eat food, I give to the food, I receive from the food, I detach from the food, and I leave traces. I'm breathing in the air, I give to the air, I receive from the air, and I leave traces. It's the same like when I'm going to sleep. I put myself down, my higher self detaches from the physical mind and attaches to higher levels. There also, we have a give and a receive. We are leaving traces and we are coming back to the body and we attach again to the body. It's the same as starting a new life. You attach to your life, you give and you receive throughout your life, you leave traces and you are detaching from your life. It's the usual things we are doing on meta state, and everybody has much experience in them. We have also a new way of experiencing. There are, in my understanding, two ways. One way with external help, and the other way on your own. You can have a look at the shop. There are many products. Some products are helping you to detach from food, to detach from water, detach from air. Some other products are helping you to detach your physicality, travel somewhere and attach your physicality again. So for a short period, you are detaching your life and you're recreating your life only at a different place. It's all about this give and this receiving, this magnetical and this gravitational in a dynamism throughout this world of dualism and where we decided to exist. On the other hand, the second way is you are also able to detach from food, from air, from water in a way to interact with the environment. And every way I have mentioned right now will be laid out further on, like all the other things were already laid out from the Keshe Foundation. And after achieving peace, we will have also for all ways that are possible, the full knowledge laid out and free to use in a better world. So thank you. This is the end of my small little presentation. And if wished, I'm able to share this emergency teaching from the 134th Knowledge Seeker Workshop from August 25, 2016.
Thank you, Joseph. That would be great.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you so much.
So sharing sound right now. Going to the minute where it starts. Please a small check if you can hear the sound.
What we have is...
Could you hear the sound?
Yes.
Can you see the whiteboard?
Yes.
So what we have is that the Asian continent, the European continent, and the American continent, we start seeing simultaneously earthquakes at the same time. If you look, this has hardly ever happened before. And what it is, the structure of the earthquake in this time with the same kind of a strength around 6 or 6.5 or whatever, it shows that the final push, everything is adjusting together now. And when we see such adjustment in the same line, it means the inevitable, what we're thinking about and what we talked about, is coming about close. And Italy is the first line, we've seen it, because you have to understand why Italy on this end. Italy is a shoe, is the free zone. So it's a pendulum that it can absorb a lot of shocks. And we saw in Myanmar yesterday, in Italy about the same time, and we saw in Central America on the same kind of route. So this could be, and it's highly possible, is the indication of the bigger movement in the fall. For this reason, we need to start moving whatever you have. This time is Italy. We are here. I am coordinating as much as possible here that we deliver everything directly in. But the problem is that a number of earthquakes will start happening simultaneously from now on. If we see this repetition of 6 point, 5 point plus 6, 7 happens across 2 or 3 continents from now on in the next 3-4 months, it means they have centralized. The movement is from the internal. Earthquakes usually, when it happens, is adjustment of the plates they sit on. When it happens like this simultaneously, it means they are connected. This is the danger. This is where our biggest problem sits. And in a coming time, everything will be pushed for us to be able to do what we have, what we can deliver. And as I said, what you need is a huge amount of CO2, CuO, CH3, and zinc oxide. These are important. Why you need this? CO2 as a spray releases pain immediately. In these kind of conditions, you have fractures. You have, try not to use it directly on the point of fracture, but near it, because the pain in the bone at the point of fracture is needed to bring in the calcium for the healing. You never do direct spray on the broken bone, but you do it around it. On the other hand, all sorts of muscle damage and everything else, you need CO2. CuO2 you need for disinfectant. You never use any of your material. We've been asked by a lot of Italians in past 24 hours, what can we do with the stock we have? How can we use it? This is for all of you, and it's part of the whole lot. You need the copper oxide for cleansing. You need the copper oxide to disinfect. You need the copper oxide to add to the water to kill any germs. All the ones we are talking about is liquid plasma. You never use your base material. You always mix and use the water of it. You need the copper oxide in the structure of the point of production of energy. You need the CO2 for neurosystem connection. You need CH3 as part of the food chain. What you do, you always mixed the CH3 with very, very, very little amount of zinc oxide and very small amount of CO2. This is for digestion. This gives you the energy. This gives you support connection to neurosystem. This gives support connection to the interconnection between the muscles and neurosystem. Then you can add the amount of CH3 you add or you allow will become the free energy, because the carbons connect to each other, and this create the moisture which is needed in the body, and the surplus energy of H becomes food. The zinc oxide allows you the neural connection which you need, that it belongs to the body. Always add 1 drop of amino acid, which means the usage will be direct. Anything you use for food, it has to carry this in it. Otherwise, body needs to be able to convert it that it knows is for it. Because when you add amino acid from your CO2 or CH container, you connect directly to the structure which the length and the strength of the materials which are in these structures. No more. So absorption is immediate. This is what you saw in my letter to the factory and to the Italians, to have the food system ready. This is the food. All you eat, every food you eat, goes down to the availability of the energy in the plasma as a gas state and the connection of it. When it's attached to the amino acid, it means it's connected to human body for consumption. Whatever does not attach to it will not be absorbed because we don't need it. You need zinc oxide on a heavy side as a spray or as a drinking water, because in these kind of things, at these kind of disasters, emotion is 90% of your problem. People don't care if they don't have food, but if they're distressed about their family, the situation, whatever, this is where you need to help. Never make a mistake between this and this. Zinc oxide, again included with the amino acid, but not connected to this food line, behaves and acts differently, and it works directly on the emotion. This is the tool what you need to survive from now on in any disaster. We've seen the German government announcing in the past few days, asking the German citizens to pile up water and food. A government so prudent and so correct all in their operation, as we've seen with German precision, does not go to its public, asks them to start storing food and water. This is on German press.
So, does anybody know? Do we have an extended part, or is this the end of the emergency usage teaching?
Maybe Joseph?
Yes?
My dear, maybe we can play the video a little more.
It's a second time. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay. What we have is, can you see the whiteboard?
Yes.
So what we have is that the Asian continent, the European continent, and the American continent, we start seeing simultaneously earthquakes at the same time. If you look, this has hardly ever happened before. And what it is, the structure of the earthquake, in this time with the same kind of a strength around 6 or 6.5 or whatever, it shows that the final push, everything is adjusting together now. And when we see such adjustment in the same line, it means the inevitable, what we're thinking about and what we talked about, is coming about close. And Italy is the first line, we've seen it, because you have to understand why Italy on this end. Italy is a shoe, is the free zone. So it's a pendulum that it can absorb a lot of shocks. And we saw in Myanmar yesterday, in Italy about the same time, and we saw in Central America on the same kind of route. So this could be, and it's highly possible, is the indication of the bigger movement in the fall. For this reason, we need to start moving whatever you have. This time is Italy. We are here. I am coordinating as much as possible here that we deliver everything directly in. But the problem is that a number of earthquakes will start happening simultaneously from now on. If we see this repetition of 6 point, 5 point plus 6, 7 happens across 2 or 3 continents from now on in the next 3-4 months, it means they have centralized. The movement is from the internal. Earthquakes usually, when it happens, is adjustment of the plates they sit on. When it happens like this, simultaneously, it means they are connected. This is the danger. This is where our biggest problem sits. And in the coming time, everything will be pushed for us to be able to do what we have, what we can deliver. And as I said, what you need is a huge amount of CO2, CuO, CH3, and zinc oxide. These are important. Why you need this? CO2 as a spray releases pain immediately. In these kind of conditions, you have fractures. You have, try not to use it directly on the point of fracture, but near it, because the pain in the bone at the point of fracture is needed to bring in the calcium for the healing. You never do direct spray on the broken bone, but you do it around it. On the other hand, all sorts of muscle damage and everything else, you need CO2. CO2 you need for disinfection. You never use any of your material. We've been asked by a lot of Italians in past 24 hours, what can we do with the stock we have? How can we use it? This is for all of you, and it's part of the whole lot. You need the copper oxide for cleansing. You need the copper oxide to disinfect. You need the copper oxide to add to the water to kill any germs. All the ones we are talking about is liquid plasma. You never use your base material. You always mix and use the water of it. You need the copper oxide in the structure of the point of production of energy. You need the CO2 for neurosystem connection. You need CH3 as part of the food chain. What you do, you always mix the CH3 with very, very, very little amount of zinc oxide and very small amount of CO2. This is for digestion. This gives you the energy. This gives you support connection to neurosystem. This gives support connection to the interconnection between the muscles and neurosystem. Then you can add the amount of CH3 you add or you allow will become the free energy, because the carbons connect to each other and this and this create the moisture which is needed in the body, and the surplus energy of H becomes food. The zinc oxide allows you the neural connection which you need, that it belongs to the body. Always add 1 drop of amino acid, which means the usage will be direct. Anything you use for food, it has to carry this in it. Otherwise, body needs to be able to convert it, that it knows is for it. Because when you add amino acid from your CO2 or CH container, you connect directly to the structure which the length and the strength of the materials which are in these structures. No more. So absorption is immediate. This is what you saw in my letter to the factory and to the Italians, to have the food system ready. This is the food. All you eat, every food you eat, goes down to the availability of the energy in the plasma as a gas state and the connection of it. When it's attached to the amino acid, it means it's connected to human body for consumption. Whatever does not attach to it will not be absorbed because we don't need it. You need zinc oxide on a heavy side as a spray or as a drinking water, because in these kind of things, at these kind of disasters, emotion is 90% of your problem. People don't care if they don't have food, but if they're distressed about their family, the situation, whatever, this is where you need to help. Never make a mistake between this and this. Zinc oxide, again included with the amino acid, but not connected to this food line, behaves and acts differently, and it works directly on the emotion. This is the tool what you need to survive from now on in any disaster. We've seen the German
So we have many informations to digest, maybe many experiments to do, at least set up many GANs boxes. Maybe we need it also in our region. So if we have it, then we have more possibilities and are able to help ourselves in a quite fast and direct way. So please, the Universal Council members to take over. I will end my share.
Thank you very, very much, Joseph.
The link is in the chat where everybody is able to review it again if he needs further reviewing for experiments or building or something else. Thank you.
So Rick, if we can go back to the picture of One Planet, One Solution, please. Yes, it's beautiful to see all these solutions. And as Mr. Keshe said, if you have the cups and you have the amino acids upon them, you can really use them with one fingertip. And the energy that these amino acids give is similar to one meal. And I tried it myself with the CO2, with the CH3. And of course, in the beginning, it is strange. It's different than when you take a hamburger, but the energy that it spends is definitely there. So I recommend you not only to make these cups, but also do this test. The water is a little bit salty if you take it from the cup, but these are the possibilities, the solutions that we can offer to those who are in need. Does anyone else have something to add at this point?
Well, I'd like to just add a comment from the YouTube from Caroline, who says, who said this early in the program before the solutions were offered here. Says, sorry to say, I'm so exhausted from lifelong emotional abuse. I seem to have lost the ability to love. And then an unhappy face emoji or typed in. So I think that this solution that was just proposed by Mr. Keshe is perfect for someone in that situation. They can, get or make the ganses and use the combinations that Mr. Keshe talked about. And I mean, that's what happens to people in the earthquake situation or in any stressful situation that we come into as humans. We get into exhaustion, emotional exhaustion. And as Mr. Keshe mentioned, that combination, especially with the zinc, seems to be important to bring back the balance.
Exactly. You know, when I did the protocol for the blood pressure and the diabetes, the blood pressure, you take the CH3 in the morning, the water, liquid plasma water, you drink 1 glass, small glass, and in the evening you take the CO2 with a little bit of ZNO in it, and it gives a real wonderful sleep where you can really get the energies that are needed to live during the day. So this combination, would also be a suggestion. If she has the water, then try, because there's so much energy inside it, and we can use it. So I hope that will help.
Yes, my dear Jaco, I also want to share about the solutions we made by ourselves with our own hand, and all the love from inside. I will say that as I am also a patient of diabetes type 2, and when I started taking the solution, taking the solution and making a mixture, applying it on my skin, I was very emotionally derailed, as Carolina said she was. But we all know that the ability to love never diminishes. It's always there. Just we are surrounded by like so many chaos, like suddenly there's a shock of sadness. Suddenly there's a shock of pain. Suddenly there's a loss of something very you loved. Suddenly somebody leaves you without no consent. Like that, everything just going on. And we are standing and giving, posing the anger, posing the debate, posing everything, and emotional damage continuously going on. Kind of that, and then the body damages too. And when that way I started taking, as described by my Mr. Ashraman and Keshe, the emotional part of the being is much severely suffered. So, and we forgot our ability to use, to understand the love, to serve, and we become kind of a, beggar, begging for everything. Please do it like that. Then when we take in this solution, the knowledge, we started to grow, you know, the ability from inside started to grow. Even I'm taking the injections, all the pills and all. But when I started taking the water, giving my body the solution, I have this ability to balance, you know. Even sometimes there's a shock, sometimes there's a debate, or even what I can say. Then I just, you know, just calm down. And with like in earlier times, I used to eat something, you know, and I became kind of fatty person. But then now I suddenly calms down, and I comes in balance and feel the love from inside. And that is me. I say, I am here. I am here. So and then even the way we see hunger or way we see food changes, and there is no need of food at that time. It was just me and the peace and the calmness and all the love around me, lovely people around me. I feel that, and it experienced the extreme growth. I mean, intense growth of this confidence of being in peace that balances everything around you with these waters so pure. So I will say, even we are dealing with much chaos, much tragedy. What I can say, yes, there is sadness, very much sadness, but there's a shock that's coming. There's a shock like this earthquake. We are feeling this shock of emotion, but then we balance this as we have to welcome, as Cheku said. Yes, there is no goodbye. They are here with us, all beautiful souls, but we have to welcome the new souls, the new one, the new creation. So here we have created this balance with this solution, and this is, well, beneficial for all souls that exist, even in the cosmos. So thank you for being here with all of us, my Messiah, Shriman M. Keshe, and all knowledge seekers, as we are growing with this knowledge, serving, understand to serve, and thus the love grows more, the ability to love. Thank you so much. Thank you.
What would the Universal Council say to Caroline, who mentions in the later, in the last part of the chat here in YouTube? I wish there was a knowledge seekers community in Switzerland. I'm no chemist. Do you have to be a chemist to do those things that Mr. Keshe was talking about?
You are no chemist. We are not chemists. We are lovers, my dear. And yeah, I will say to Carolina.
There's very few chemists among us, that is for sure.
Yes.
A few, but very few. And there's 5-year-olds and grandmothers that are regularly making these materials that Mr. Keshe was mentioning in his descriptions there.
Yes, so of course.
Yes. So how can someone like that, that's not aware of anything about GANs or how to make it, how can they get educated and get involved? What would be some of the pathways? I'm thinking a Telegram group might be one way. They can get, people are always willing to give information on and links and so on in the Telegram groups. And you don't have to be, as long as you can speak English, you can be any one of the English Telegram groups. So perhaps we can have a link for that. Fred mentions the KF Wiki, and that's another one that I would suggest as well. So I'll put that in the
KF Wiki is really good also if you're searching for certain topics. That's really a good address. I also share that a lot. And in the groups, you're right, there's lots of discussion, lots of questioning, and that's the way we can share and help each other.
That's why the Telegram groups were set up initially, was to help people with the virus situation. So,
yes,
and it has helped. Well, there's probably several dozen groups that were set up in different languages and so on. And I am definitely sure there's tens of thousands, if not millions of people that have been favorably affected by the help and solutions provided in those groups. Elias mentions the golden age of GANs on Facebook, and yes, that's a place where you can put questions and you'll get links and answers from the people there as well. I'll put that into the YouTube chat. Just looking for an invite link to one of our Telegram groups. Let's see here. Like the 1 Cup 1 Life be good. I can't see the link there offhand. Someone can put in the invite link to either the Keshe 1 Cup 1 Life or the Keshe American Knowledge Team. That's a pretty big group that could be helpful. The Keshe English discussion group. Oh, there's a pinned message there, so I will try to copy and paste that invite link into the YouTube for Caroline or others. Elias just put in the 1 Cup 1 Life, which is another good connection, Telegram group. Just bear with me here as I post those. Okay, well, there's a lot of connections and a lot of help. She says the PC is also impersonal and overwhelming. However, if you, Caroline, if you go into the Telegram groups, then you can ask if there's someone local to you, someone nearby that can help you, or someone that's not nearby but can still help out and be sort of your personal mentor and guide. There are those that will do that. And I think you'll find it less impersonal and overwhelming when you have some friends in the Telegram groups, because people are there to help and be helped. Okay, well, good luck with that. Is there anything else from anyone or anything anyone would like to say before we move on?
Is anybody wants to share anything, as Rich says, or we go forward? Okay.
Shweta, it's Dean here.
No.
I can quickly just say to everybody present, and I know there's a lot of
course.
people that may be listening that would possibly be new to the Foundation's work, or are new knowledge seekers, or people that have been brought in through various different streams. And I know there's a lot of information on the websites, and as Rick has just said, and has been put into the chat, there's many different places you can connect to the Foundation. The knowledge and the science behind it through Mr. Keshe brought forward is substantial, and it's a difference. We're using plasmatic conditions to bring about a healing process, a balanced process. And so we're using the Ganses and the Gans waters and the power of intention as well, because this is the Universal Council. And those Gans mixtures and those waters have a very, very special properties based upon the elements that are relevant within the environment of planet Earth. We all know as souls, as beautiful souls present, that we have the ability to use tools and use these conditions in any time and space and position, particularly in emergencies. And in emergencies, we need to give people real-time tools, and this is what Mr. Keshe has brought forward, and Joseph very kindly has brought forward with this presentation on the 134th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And it really does emphasize the beauty of this knowledge of a very top scientist in the world, in basically, who has come to humanity, has come to this position to serve humanity and give them certain tools to be able to elevate and end a lot of the conditions that have been present. And the knowledge is for everyone, from literally from a child to a person on the street to a president. And many presidents have been known to be using these Gans waters and these applications, and have had them on their desks and have used them many times because they know the beauty of it. They know that this has a condition that will end a lot of the suffering that we go through, and it has implications over vast stretches of the planet Earth. And because of this, we've come against something that has caused other conditions and brought forward, how can I say, the space gap. We have many situations on planet Earth that, when we understand that a lot of it is brought forward through our own intentions and wishes that we're not even aware of, because everything has an interaction. Magnetical and gravitational fields that constantly feed in everything, in every moment. So when we start connecting our thoughts and intentions and wishes towards not just individuals, but to other nations, and we realize that it's a balance point, we understand that if we take constantly, there always comes a position where the fields have to give back, individually or as a nation or globally. So it's a balanced condition. This technology is all about this. It's all about those field interactions. And when we actually start to use these plasmatic waters, the Ganses, the technology that has been brought forward and gifted to humanity, and it is sharely given, it is freely given, sorry. So it is, it's there for everybody to take from. It gives unconditionally. The plasmatic waters that are connected to life on this planet through the amino acid structure gives to each and every person present. The ZNO, as we know, with Mr. Keshe, and it was spoken about earlier, this brings about a balance in the emotion of man. And this is a very big part of what man requires in these moments. And it's a lack of, we have a lack of this resource, this mineral that causes a condition that we all go through these as human beings, these processes where we are being depleted of an energy. And when we have that depletion, then we start to act and vibrate in a different way. So these plasmatic waters and the Ganses and many of the technologies Mr. Keshe brought forward bring about a balance, bring about a beauty for humanity and mankind to be part of. And it's a gift. And most people, if you have given a gift, you should always receive it with love and grace and gratitude, and understand the beauty of it. And it's been brought forward for a reason. And there are many different channels on Telegram. The foundation itself has many different channels of communication, live stream and YouTube and all the others. And to actually bring about this, and you just type in the Keshe Foundation, and it will open up a new world to you. It opens up the universal flow for humanity to actually be part of and to experience the beauty of this knowledge that is gifted, as I said, to you, to humanity. And not just human beings, to our vertical friends and horizontal friends and all the creatures created, because none is higher and none is lower. So please receive this gift and use it. Start to take an interest in it, use it, give it to others. And that is the key, is when you use this technology and you give it to help another, that's when the plasmatic waters, the Ganses, the reactors, you start to vibrate and start to come alive into the beauty of this knowledge. So thank you for all being present, and enjoy it, enjoy the gift, share it, particularly in these moments when humanity needs this beauty. And we see around the world many conflicts and many things. And this, we don't want to just stay in that zone. We want to actually extend this so that it brings about thoughts and intentions that are here to humbly serve, to give to another, so that you elevate, and so you elevate others, and so you become part of the beauty that is part of the whole of creation. You know, we're all part of the same thing. We all breathe the same air. We all drink the same waters. We're all part of this system. And as a soul, we're part of a bigger system. So let's all join together and share these beauties, because they are, as I said, they are a gift for you in this moment. Thank you, Sweta. Thank you, Rick. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, my dear Dean. Thank you for your beautiful, beautiful words, as always. Thank you so much. So here is about the accommodation of souls. Jaco, you want to say something, my dear?
Yes.
Oh.
Thank you, Shweta. Thank you, Dean. If we go back to what I mentioned before, this interaction of our soul with the soul of physicality, this accommodation where Mr. Keshe is talking about, it opens up for the line of communication. So if we get the balance between these both souls, and we can imagine that like one is accommodating the other, but also vice versa. And he explained, if we understand these both processes, there is no end of life. So this balance brings the situation where our souls live forever. Now, what about this line of communication? If they're both in balance, we know that our energy comes from this line of Earth, Sun, solar system, galaxy, up to the Creator. And this is not a one-way ticket. This is always a connection in both directions. Now, as Asa wrote in the chat, we enter now the domain of creation. as a creator. Because we are part of the total means that we also have these abilities. Why is it not possible to use it in a normal way? Why, a few years ago, when we didn't have this knowledge, we had no clue. The beauty of what Mr. Keshe is explaining is that we now understand and we can start working with it. And that's why it's so important. What do we do? What do we start creating? Do we take the old way, or do we take a new way where on soul level everything is in balance and everything is perfect? And he said it several times that that perfection is what we need to change this world. And we know it inside. Starts with thinking good, speaking good, and doing good. It's that simple. It's not complicated. You don't need much to start at. But what we see in the end will be on a big, big scale. Now, about appearance of souls. Also, in my eyes, has to do with this accommodation. There are so many souls from outside visiting Earth. They show themselves as humans, although from other place they look different. They have their own identity, their own appearance. So in a way, with the knowledge we have, we can also accommodate them to live in this in the environment, in the inertia like they want. And in my eyes, it will not take a long time that we start seeing these things. Till now, if you see documentations about UFOs who crashed, what happened with the travelers who were there, of course, if you ask, then they say, no, it's just a weather balloon, it's nothing else. But in the end, it is what happened. With the understanding we have now, we should look at it completely different. And the beauty is that we really get ready for this by all the teachings we got from Mr. Keshe. Is there anyone else who wants to add to this accommodation of souls?
Jacko, thank you for that. It's Dean here. So
Hi, Dean.
Hi, Jacko. How are you? You sound, as you do, very very calm and very energized.
I have night shift, so I'm very calm.
Good. Thank you for being present, Jacko. Thank you for your wonderful wisdom and words. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to have you present, Jacko. So accommodation of souls. We all are part of this. We're all a soul, each and every one of us, and none of us are higher and none of us are lower. We're all equal. We all have this beauty. We all have this ability as a soul present in this very moment to affect the whole of the conditions of, let's say, planet Earth. So when a soul is present and understands and starts to be accommodated by the other souls, which is always been, however, we're becoming more and more aware of it through these experiences and through interacting with we call it technology. You can call it a soul is an ancient technology. It's a soul that's been present for eternity. It's a soul that's present always. There are new souls that come forward to be accommodated, and there are other souls that have always been present. And you're part of it. And each and every single one of us has a role to play, to be part of. And we take those roles as sometimes as a human being, sometimes as an animal, or a vertical friend, or a non-dimensional being. But being present in physicality in the human form, we have evolved to a position of understanding now through this technology. And so we can accommodate each and every soul as humanity. We can be part of this structure. We can all join together, and each and every one of you that feels lonely or are isolated, or in a family situation where you don't feel understood, or you are part of a community that you would like to expand upon, with a thought and an intention. So with a field strength of a thought, you are present with all the other souls. So you're accommodating all the other souls in that moment, and you're connecting. Never ever be told or allow yourself to be said that you are anything else other than a most incredible star, soul present in this moment. And when you start to understand the beauty that you possess, and you start to connect and accommodate all the other souls, we will start to be in a most abundant position across everything that exists. This technology, this wisdom, this knowledge that is accommodating for each and every person, each and every soul, is it's for you to be part of. You are part of it. And when you hear these words from Jacko and many others, and you interact with the technology and the foundation, you come to realize that we are, all of us, as one planet, one nation, one race, as a human species, we are here to serve. We are here to give to others. And when you start to do that, when you start to act like that, speak like that, think like that, then things very quickly change. You become that plasma water. We start to heal the other places. So when we have a thought and an intention as a collective, and we do it in a certain way, we cause conditions that affect the other side of the planet. We've all heard the thing where if a butterfly flaps its wings, it's felt across the other side of the world. Well, your thoughts and intentions have this beauty. So use them wisely, connect, be part of this technology. You already really are part of it, and start to understand it, start to engage with it, start to use it. Let's all be part of it and give to the other souls. Let's accommodate each and every single one of us, which are the most incredible, beautiful souls present in this precise moment. So thank you, dear souls, for being present and accommodating each and every single one of us. Thank you, Jacko.
That's the key. Thank you, Dean.
Yeah, it is the key, Jacko. Yeah, it's gratitude and thanks. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Also, I would suggest we take the next slide, please. So now we come to the commandments. We know is the possibility to reach the level of the soul in the dimension of the physicality. And Mr. Keshe also said it's us who can fail or succeed according to our own path of belief. So we choose the way, and this helps us to take the right path. Next slide, please. So today's commandment, we chosen the detachment, the Universal Council. And I would like to read this. I remember seeing Moses. When he received, he was so joyful. He was jumping up and down. And then at the point, that's why he took the time in the mountain. When he started reading it to understand it, that he could interpret it in a physicality. He saw a lot of it wasn't what he came up to the mountain for. So he didn't like it, what he saw and what he understood. said to him, take that whole and not the part. He took the whole, but he pretends of being heavy, he dropped the whole. It wasn't written in stone, it was carried with his soul. He wrote it down. The heaviness was of the soul of the man, not on the weight of the stones. So this detachment, we heard it before from Joseph, from Dean. It is one side on the physical and one side on the soul level. And detachment doesn't mean that you're not allowed to drive a car or have a place to live in. This is the more deeper connection meant. And for me, it is important to just think about your own situation. What would be difficult to let loose if you would have to go now, to leave this life here on earth? And those things are grabbing us, they are holding us down, they are not allowing this detachment, which is necessary. Because if we do it on the soul level, if we detach, then we become ready to open up and to go this way. Does anyone else have something to this commandment?
Yes, my dear Jaco, can I say something? My turn?
Yes,
Yes.
please, Shweta.
Thank you. We say detachment, and we know, we also know like that. A few years ago, we know how detachment is. You know, in India, there is a culture of detachment. You know, the Brahmacharya, they said. There is this act, as Moses misinterpreted to the people, as the Sufis, as the sadhus, the sannyasis, that there is a book of detachment to be a brahmacharya. So, with no family. A brahmacharya means a person with no family or no attachment, you know. But then this has misinterpreted in a way that what is detachment? The detachment is, as in the religious way they have manipulated this, that when you want to be in the moksha, in the divine self, then you detach to your family, leave the family alone, and go to the Himalayas and come with a divine knowledge to give another this detachment again, about this detachment again. Then what has happened is, this knowledge is so manipulated about the detachment that in India, several families has suffered. Millions of families have suffered because of this. The man who was responsible for taking the family together, the man who was taken for the relatives and all, he suddenly take this chance and leave the family and became a brahmacharya and go to the Himalayas or any other mountain. And then he comes back and he was worshipped. All these become a guru or a chela or whatever, and people become a disciple of him or her. And this goes on even now. As you have to, in our Hinduism, there is this that you don't have to even eat food with other people if you are detached, because they are impure, a kind of that, you know. This type of detachment is going on. And then the corruption, as the corruption begins at that time, it's vast in a way. So, but this universal knowledge of detachment is a reverse of this, you know, bringing back to the light, that take the responsibility. Take the responsibility. You came here to serve. Take the responsibility that you have to serve, and it starts from you. And when we started this kind of detachment, when we know it is the time for the man to be kind to mankind, we understood that. And starting from here, even in the family, in the relatives, in the country, in the region, people are showing back to you. First of all, they smile at you and say, oh, this is good, then showing back to you. And you are just tapping them. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? Hundreds of times, but they doesn't listen. So then we take our path in the another way. But that is not leaving him like that. We were taking that one day he will understand and wish for him. This is the intention, not taking away ourselves in a selfish manner, that I'm jumping out of the trap and now I'm free with the divine knowledge. This is not the way. In every level, even the detachment goes when we are growing up with the emotions, as the cosmic light has created this enhanced way of thinking. In every level, we have been shown this path, inspired by many, to be in love, to be in light. Then we now we come to this level and detaches ourselves from the sadness, from the suppression we have gone through this, about the society, about the religion, about any knowledge we have given in a way, education, what you are doing. We have to understand that it doesn't mean that the education was not like that. Many of us have turned towards the peace, towards the knowledge universal, because the trigger was that one should be educated. But how can we do that? By this way, by this way. This is the new way. Are we attaching to the old way, becoming a scientist like that, does blocking everything, like, even explaining, oh, there is no unknown kind of thing. But then the science is always there. The most magnitude is there in the unknown, as we say, but that is known to our soul and heart and soul, as we say, like, when we communicate each other, the accommodation is, here I am, my heart and soul is the home, my dear. Come, welcome, I welcome you. Accommodate yourself, what you need, like that. So the detachment comes from within, that there should be no selfishness like that, like, this is my family, only my family will eat and nobody else, I don't care about us. No, that is not happening. We have to take care, as this chaos, this destruction is going on, in the level of understanding. Even we understand there's a shock of emotion, but then we just go on this detaching ourselves, understanding and giving elevation and love to those who we need now. So this is the way detachment helps us to be free, a kind of free, to understand the free will of us, to get to be in service for the benefit of all. So detachment is, if interpreted properly, is like this, take the responsibility for all that exists. And it starts from us, from our heart and soul, the home, the accommodation, where the Creator lives with us. Drink tea with the Creator, as I do. Thank you, my dear. Thank you, Jacko. Thank you so much.
Shweta, may I quickly just say something? It's Dean again.
Oh, yes, of course.
So number 22, detachment. So MK, detachment. And then I remember seeing Moses. When he received, he was so joyful. He was jumping up and down. So he was detaching in physicality. So the emotion that Moses received elevated him, and he felt this need, or this emotion, to physically jump up and down. He left the Earth connection, had a space gap, and was in a joyful, elevated position. And then at one point, that's why he took the time in the mountain. So again, he was in a mountain area. So he was in an elevated position. And it's a different condition to being at a level, or at a specific viewpoint, we can say, of the Earth in a lower elevation. So whatever belief you have, whatever it is for you, if it brings you joy and elevation to give to another, then there's a beauty in it. When this turns to another emotion that then turns into, I cannot do because it's not what I want it to be. So then you start taking, and this is what, according to these words, from my understanding, that Moses started to change his position. He had the elevation given to him on a soul level. He received this knowledge as a prophet. And then he decided that he would only take a part of it, because the other parts he didn't. He wanted to do other things. In the physicality, he wanted to create other conditions. And so he left that position where he was elevated, where he jumped up and down physically, and he had the joy in his heart. And then he came back to earth with a thump, and landed, and then decided to start other interactions. And this is, if I just go back, so I remember seeing Moses. So unless you were present in that moment, in non-physicality, on a soul level, you wouldn't be seeing Moses. This would be, that's a physical thing. So being present with the other souls in that precise moment when Moses received is of a higher order, another position, one that is present here right now, guiding humanity and trying everything which way that is possible to help, to give, to build systems, to elevate the soul, to give to humanity, to take a new position, to join the universal family, and to have this beautiful position on planet Earth of abundance, harmony, and sheer joy to be alive. This is the whole essence of the foundation. So I remember seeing Moses when he received, he was so joyful. So let's be in that elevated position, and let's be joyful, and let's give to as many as we can, and understand the beauty of this this detachment that can be, the space gap can be however you'd like to describe it. A warm hug, a thought, an intention, a smile, giving to others in distress, giving to others in every situation. And remember, the foundation has no profits. It has no religion. It's here to serve humanity in totality. That's the whole point of being present here, is to give to humanity in these moments. So you're dearly loved, humanity, and all the other created creatures. And so let's all be joyful. And when we detach, when we jump up and down and get that elevation in our heart, in our soul, keep that thought and that memory, that beauty within you, and share it with all. Thank you. Thank you, Sweta.
Thank you, my dear Dean. So beautiful, like roses of different colors, you know. We need this joy at this moment, you know. Thank you. Thank you so much, my dear Dean. Thank you. Any beautiful souls want to add anything about this commandment, about detachment?
Maybe I will do some.
Oh, Mashfiq. Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much.
This is Mashfiq. The detachment part. We think about when we think about detachment, it's detachment. We think about detachment from worldly stuff, as we have been told by many from various backgrounds, from various parts of the world. One aspect of detachment that we often forget is that things we possess inside. What are those things? One of the manifestation of that is arrogance. I am better than whatever. Be it an ant, be it a person from another culture, be it an animal, be it somebody from another religion, whatever. As soon as we have this, I have this degree or whatever, I am a scientist, I am a doctor, whatever. You can find many, but this is, it may be, the degree may be possession of a paper, but the possession manifesting as arrogance is within us. No wonder Moses felt heavy like a stone. That was it. His own arrogance made things heavy. Arrogance makes us heavy. We all know it. Though at one time or another, we have felt it. We all know this. And when we make this, when the arrogance creeps in, it's actually not bad in a way. It's time to readjust and see it, yeah, I need to adjust. It's a kind of like a hint, but sometimes a hint becomes a burden as we let it build. So things that we carry within is something things are not something we consider them to be part of our detachment. And the burden gets really heavy. And disease and other things can creep in, misconduct of various sorts, as we have seen in the later days of how Moses acted, and others. It's not necessarily him being an example of it, but in little ways we all have participated in it. But it's not terribly bad in a way, in the sense that if we learn from that experience, then we can go to the next step. And this is where detachment comes into operation as a tool, as an instrument of soul elevation of us, within us. And so this is an experience, or this is a tool we can apply even now. And the beauty of it is that humanity as a whole have developed this detachment. And through what? Through love, respect for others. And this is the progress that has led us to the events of 16th and the 20th, and things will carry on from there. The flights that we did on the 16th of December, on the 20th of January. So in that sense, we have progressed, and we will do more. And this is the beauty of the current situation. We can see it in the foundation maybe more clearly, but I think it's there in every part of the society, in every part of the planet now. And so if we look at it from another point of view, not arrogance as something to detach from, but see what made us less arrogant, the love and respect, which leads to service, serving others. Yeah, I respect the person, I love the person, so I do the best I can to that person, whatever the person, whoever and whatever the person may be. Even the object that we use, the stone that we have in the garden, let's say, do we respect? If we respect that, it thrives. An equipment, a car being taken care of thrives. Neglect, when we don't respect the function a car provides, and we neglect it, yes, it does decay. And so as we nourish this respect and love, arrogance or detachment come with it, because we are serving others. We call it others, but aren't they part of us too? It's things like, the disease condition that we so routinely face these days is part of that. We have the capacity to keep ourselves in good condition, but we have been told that you can't do it. In essence, we have been told to neglect ourselves. And so we have to respect our body. And this is part of something. It's not a possession so much as it's a point of love and respect. So when we have love and respect for something, we don't possess it, we serve. And when we serve in a detached way, with love and respect. So this is not something that, is a very abstract thing. What I'm saying is very practical, easy to do, can be done now. And for we can be present with these at any time. And now I will go a little bit from this topic to our earlier topic of, those who are in need at this point because of the natural disaster situation. And there was the discussion, of the GANs, how the GANs can be used to help these people. One of the things that recently we have learned about is to act as satellites. Satellite in the sense of transferring energy of various combination and kind, as indicated by the GANs. So in this situation that we have now, can the Universal Council and the knowledge seekers who are involved provide those specific energies from themselves? We don't need, does it have to be GANs? We ourselves are big sources of GANs. So our soul can engage and transfer the energy. Now, later when we feel more like doing it, but we can do it. It's once again, it's now, it's not in the future, it's not, we can't do it. It's if we love our neighbors, our fellow men on this planet or beings on this planet, we can do it. It is for them that we elevate to that level to function as somebody serving these people who have been affected. We feel for them. What is the next step to act? Act to provide them with what they can, what they need. And we say we can't do it? Let's help each other so that we can together do it as a collective. Can we not? Surely we can. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so, so much, my dear Moshfik. So beautiful and kind words as we, this physicality has this, as Earth is changing and these chaos and events are happening. We need to elevate with communicating with each other and leave the arrogance, It was time we all fell through this. Now we have this beauty, we have this ability to feel them. We feel always. Now we understand to elevate, to give them, how to give. So this is the giver, to be a giver, to be a lover. And the world needs this love and peace more than ever. So physicality, sometimes we see things like, become painful and sad. But then we understand to keep up the balance as they are all part of us and we are all part of them. If everything happens in physicality, this happens to us also. And it is like a shock, always. Thank you. Thank you for being with us always, Moshfik, your wisdom, your calmness, your peace. Thank you. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute. And any beautiful soul else want to share something about the commandment? In this way, we are kind of let going. If you say detachment, if you say let go, we are doing it now. And as we say, family, now we became family. And it will be always forever. So communicate with each other, be a satellite, be a lover, and choose the path of peace. Thank you so much. Rick, can we go to the next slide? Go forward. Here is a beautiful video from Keshe Foundation, Brazil. Is there a video, Rick? Okay.
Yes.
Now that we have opened what I call the final stages of man to understand, now you have to understand you have no choice. It needs a lot of understanding. It needs a lot of positioning. It needs, there is a celebration going on. A lot of you will report massive number of UFOs in huge numbers. It's not one or two anymore. It's just like a party, let's all go there and there is a traffic jam. You will see those happening in the coming weeks. There is a big party going on this planet. Man has not seen it, do not understand it. In a way, without you knowing, you go to out shopping and you come home, the party is set, and then you have a surprise. In a way, mankind is waiting for that surprise, but there are few steps to be taken. The universal universal community has already laid out the party. And to lay the party, you need to bring a lot of things ready, a lot of souls. All friends are coming back. You will see a new transformation on the skies and in the skies of this planet very, very soon. We changed the whole structure as of last week, and we brought a new dimension. You will see it, you will feel it. And this situation with Corona, this actually would have happened because the soul of this planet was getting ready to join the universal community. And it's a solution for man to find himself in, to elevate himself. This is a universal council teaching. This is what we call one nation, one planet, one race. And in so many ways, we have made one of you, but we have joined you to be one of the totality. It's a birthday party. And those who are organizing the party, it's just, 9 months and so many days, the child is born and you get everything ready for the party of the birth. That's what's happening. For the coming weeks, you will see more and more activities in a very strange way, in a huge numbers. And some of them, they are single souls who left this planet thousands of years ago. They're coming back. They're coming back to welcome the new child. These lights you see in the skies, which will appear as single and in hundreds of thousands to come, many of them, they are not UFOs. They are the souls who left this planet and come back. They know it's the time to celebrate. But mankind is blind. And no radar can see the soul. If the radars could see the soul, every day millions of people who die and get born. Why don't the radars don't show? The souls leave. Now you see the soul return. You see the light, and mankind has to understand. You have no choice. We have left you no more choice. We left it to you lot for some millions of years, and you did nothing but just mess it up more and more. And now it's just, it's the next step, next evolution. But how far, how much, to what extent mankind is ready for it is a question for the man to ask himself. You come here to learn a cup, you learn this, you learn that, but you're so blind you don't see what is in truth there behind.
Beautiful, beautiful, so beautiful. As somebody, beautiful. Thank you. Keshe Foundation Brazil, thank you so much. As we are standing in our positions and somebody whispered, hang on, stay in love, never forget to be loved, to give love. This is the way everything will calm down in a moment. Like that, you know? So there is a celebration is also going on, my dear beautiful souls. Everything is coming in balance. And we are in this position, understanding, giving love, serving love to all that exist. Thank you so much. Thank you. My dear Rick, can we go to the next slide? Here is a beautiful picture that has taken by a person lying on a beach with the camera, and she captured this, you know, she got this in her camera, and this looks like an angel coming down, and it was given to us by dear Azhar and Universal Council. And this is the beauty of this image, that it gives us so much calmness, so much, you know, like the opening of everything, and well, I can say the galactic beings, the cosmic beings coming down for us. Like we are standing here, but not in arrogance, but in love. Waving our hand, hey, we are here, kind of that. So this is beauty. If Azhar is there, she would have explained it more beautifully. But maybe she's not here. I'm saying no, she's not here. But I can read quickly message from her. She has given in the, yeah, I will read it quickly. God made mechanical universe, the plant and the animal life, but this didn't satisfy him, for he wished to create a being who could respond to and understand him. So he created a being who had real life within himself. He could do this only by imparting his own nature to this being whom he called man. He just made him in his own image and likeness. Man must be created out of the stuff of eternity. If he is to have real being, humanity must partake of the nature of divinity, if it is to have real life. So God made man from the essence of himself, and clothed this subtle essence with definite form. And God said with himself something after this fashion: if I wish to have a man who is a real being, I must give himself choice. He must be spontaneous, not automatic. He must have dominion over everything that is of less intelligence than himself. I will let him name everything I have created, and he shall have all things to enjoy. For his life must be full and complete, if he is to express my nature. So God gave man dominion over all earthly things. Man was not given the power to govern the universe, but he was given the power to have dominion. And God, viewing all that he had created, saw that it was good, very good. How could it be otherwise, since he had created it? How could God bring goodness, other than that? God was formless, but he wished to see himself in form. That is when he decided to create. The creation is constant, always moving, always creating. Man like God can create. Beautiful. As we understand that when we wish, we have this intention of creating the peace, thus the peace is created, as we are all creators too, as we are the image of the Creator. So this is the beauty she's shared, and very beautiful. And you can see the angels coming down. This is the image, so beautiful. Thank you, Azhar. Thank you, my dear. Thank you for always being with us. So now we can go to the next slide, my dear Rick. Here, bring the needs and wishes from your community to the Universal Council as one planet, one nation, one race for justice and world peace. All beautiful souls are welcome to share and to have the wish if they have on behalf of their community, family, or anything else want to share. Welcome, my dear. Thank you so much.
But it's Dean here again. I think it would be nice for us to, as a as a community, as the Universal Council, as one nation, as one race, one planet, and for us to be present in these moments with the people that are going through situations that are affecting their lives in physicality. So we know that, as it was spoken about earlier on, that there are many people suffering in these moments in a disaster zone. And I think our thoughts and wishes and intentions should be with these, as we did earlier in the 5 minutes of silence. But just for us to be present and to be aware of all those souls, to give to those souls, with a thought and intention, share our souls with them, be present with them, share the energy that we have, share the intention, the love of being present with them in the moment. And to imagine if it was a reversal. Imagine if we were now ourselves in this condition. How would we react? How would we feel as a community, as a person? So when the role is flipped, when it takes another position, then we can start to understand the energies that will be involved. So, and each soul feels the presence of another soul of physicality and understands this on a soul level. A soul would always want to give everything to another soul, almost to the point of their own demise. So they would give and give to bring balance to another soul. They would never see harm come to another. This is the beauty of it. So I think we, in these moments, can give our Jan's thoughts, our precious soul thoughts, from our physicality. We can give these thoughts and intentions in this moment to all the people in Syria and Turkey and all the other surrounding areas that are affected. Because if we give this gift, then if we ever find ourselves in the position of it being flipped, then we ourselves may receive this gift back. And I think that's a beauty that we should all understand, that it is an energy transfer, and we are present with those beautiful souls, and on a level, on a soul level, which is a higher level of energy, with just a thought, an intention to help another. And if we create a condition in our environment and it affects people the other side of the world, like the butterfly flapping its wings, then we can understand that we can affect, we can give to these souls, we can be present with them to help to balance the condition, to help even correct the condition. So the more we give, the more we receive. So being present with these beautiful souls in this moment, with our thoughts and intentions, it's a precious gift. So Thank you for being present in this moment and sharing your soul, the beauty of you, with all the other souls that are in a position right now of need. They need this energy. And I personally give from my soul to these beautiful souls present. And I thank him for being present in physicality and having such a wonderful, incredible soul.
Thank you, my dear Dean.
Thank you, Sweta. Thank you all.
As beautiful souls of one planet, one nation, one race, as you say, as a universal community, we are now in this position. We are present, my dear, with all beautiful souls, those who are leaving, those who are coming. Welcome to all. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, my dear Dean. My dear Rick, can we go to the next slide?
I would just had one
Oh.
comment in the YouTube, perhaps I can mention.
Yes, of course, of course.
Actually, there's two. One is from Sniley Forever, who says, I'm very sad that as humanity, communication, real communication, seems not possible. Maybe I'm too naive. But then Gare, a couple of comments later, says, we are all one. So when we manage to realize this and connect ourselves to everything, then you will find all the answers inside you, where our source is and all the answers. Thank you, Gare, for that.
Thank you, Gare, my dear. Beautiful. When the person was saying, I am too naive, he can understand that Gare has answered in a way that, yes, maybe we all have these moments of naiveness, but to grow up, we need this, light to grow. So be in this knowledge, my dear. You may be understood, you may be able to understand the position of how we are. We all are, you, me, and all. Thank you.
Okay, I think that's it. It's been suggested to me from someone outside that our usual way to end our workshop with their clapping and dancing video is maybe not appropriate today. So on that recommendation, I think that I'll
Yes, of course, my dear. Yeah.
I'll play the flight enhancement unit and just the animation, and maybe we'll leave it at that then. So yes, anyway, we're back to I think we're at the end of slide here.
My dear Rick, there is a comment from my dear Mark, and he says, souls join collectively at 9 PM CET on a daily basis, not on Zoom, not on Telegram, but in the dimension of energy. We call them souls. Feel free to add your fields. Nobody fails these tests in the more power we understand and we possess. Thank you, my dear Mark. Thank you.
Also, I'd like to read Mark's comment in the chat before that, which is important as well, an important reminder. He says, Mr. Keshe indicated that 90% of our problem in these situations is in the emotions, emotional balancing. So he says, first, don't panic, easy to say from afar, but when disaster hits in a moment of time, unbelievably unsettling to your entire structure, Keshe Foundation has the technology and systems to bring in for relief and balancing of this condition that's appeared and will continue at various times and places on this planet. Call upon the Keshe Foundation for support. We are here to serve, not to be served. Thank you, Mark. That was a nice comment.
Thank you. Thank you, my dear Mark. Beautiful indeed. So we are here to serve, not to be served. the Universal Council, as Mark says. Thank you. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, talit.
Okay, if there's no further comments, then I think that brings us to the end of our workshop here. Oh, I did want to mention that we seem to have some trouble with the KF Wikipedia. The KF Wiki site is down right now. The server is not responding. So we hope that that will be resolved as soon as possible, but that's what you won't be able to get the information from the links we posted earlier for the KF Wikipedia until that gets fixed. What else?
Rick, it's Dean again here. So I think we all wish that the sites for the foundation are all active and present to help and to serve humanity in these moments. And we give to the soul of the servers and the soul of the infrastructure that it may create a condition where they are in service 24/7 for humanity. Thank you, Rick.
Okay, thanks, Dean. Okay, our next public teaching workshop is the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which is starts at 7 a.m. on Wednesday, February 8th. And people are welcome to attend, whether you're a newcomer and just learning about the GaNs technology or some of the other aspects of the plasma technology, or whether you're experimenting with some of the more advanced levels and need some advice from our old-time knowledge seekers that have been around for a while. We have full range in that workshop, so people are welcome to attend. Okay, thank you today thank you members of the Universal Council for presenting today's workshop. Lots of wonderful solutions and words of encouragement for all of us. Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for attending today's 260th One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace here on Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. Okay, I'll go out with the flight enhancement, spaceship unit, just the animation. And we'll see you all in the next public workshop.
Thank you.